Before we end,
Yeah.
I think we gotta loop back around to the vocations thing.
Oh, yeah.
So practical steps. Practical steps. This is something that I learned. That there was a priest shortage after I became Catholic.
Okay.
We want more priests. We need more priests because we need more sacraments. We need more spiritual direction. We need more guidance. How to get more priests? Well, you have to have parents who are willing to guide their children towards what God is calling them to. God's going to call some people to be priests and some people not to be priests, but the parents have to be willing to give their kids to God. I think parents often get in the way and they're like, yeah, we want more priests, but not my kid. My kid's going to be an engineer. My kid's going to go into theater or whatever. But
Nobody says that. Nobody wants their kid to go in the theater. Come on, Tim.
Hollywood. They want their kid to be a
There
movie
you
star
go.
so they could be rich
That
and they support them in their retirement. No,
Yes.
just the way you have to give yourself to God, you have to give up, empty yourself. You have to give away everything. Don't hold on to anything. Don't hold on to your kids either.
It's so true.
I heard a great line from another podcast. They said it was like a parenting podcast. God loves your children more than you do, and you can rest in that.
Wow.
So, yeah. Give your children to God, and if God's going to make them a priest, don't get in the way.
Nah, best not to. Yeah, because I mean, you see because I'm just thinking of some saints. I don't know of anyone specific at the top of my head, but where like their parents were, no, you're getting married to this person, or you're going to be doing this. You're going to be this successful lawyer.
Yeah.
And it never works out. They always end up being the same.
Well,
so.
they're like the early like second century virgin martyrs were often like, God's calling me to be a consecrated virgin.
Yep.
And they were forced into like marriages by the Roman nobility and stuff. And then they refused and they got martyred. That's where we got those from. St. Lucy, St. Agatha, St. Perpetua.
Yeah, we don't want to have. We want it to be a little bit easier for them to hear God's voice and not necessarily be martyred. But
Sean Peters says, have children ask, pray. That's the way to do that. If you're having trouble hang-ups, giving them up, that's the way to do it. And Timoteo points out he did not really have anyone to guide him. I know you were missing a father for most of your life, Tim. There. So if you don't have someone to guide you, there are ways that God can step in, like Catholic radio. I mean, that's one way.
oh yeah,
You listen to Catholic radio, and it can't take the place of an actual father, but it can be a means of guidance. So there are priests, there's public resources like us, there's books. I mean, there can be other people that God sends into your life. So look for those, and maybe if you're one of the ones watching right now, you can be one of those for somebody else.
that's a good point. Yeah, and guide somebody else to potentially become a religious vocation. That's very good. Very good point. Wow. Thanks for that. It was really good, Tim.
Sorry, I get in a little soapbox sometimes.
Sometimes you need to get on a soapbox.